Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, this definitely doesn't look good, as this certainly is a very troubling scenario to watch unfold down there, because with Moro's strength continuing to grow at a very alarming rate, if our heroes aren't able to find some kind of a way to slow him down, then I'm afraid that it'll all be over for them, for they must unearth a solution of miraculous proportions if they wish to stop such a threat, or we risk witnessing the destruction of all they hold dear, for without it, the end of all is not just a possibility for Goku and the others, but an absolute certainty.
As our story opens up following the initial events of Moro 7-3 being shown having to impale Goku through his chest, as with all of the other Z fighters down with the exception of Gohan, it was only as Moro was now shown having to address Goku where Moro then went on to comment, "What a truly pathetic display of power, Saiyan. And here I was expecting for you to show me more of this angelic power of yours that you kept bragging about. Ultra Instinct, I believe it was. What a joke. And even through obtaining such power, you still fell short of stopping me, Goku. Your Ultra Instinct may have granted you temporary power to compete with me, but it cannot match the sheer magnitude of my raw power. I have absorbed the life energy of countless creatures, Goku, and your Ultra Instinct is just a flicker of light in the face of my absolute stature. And now your time on this planet with me has expired, Saiyan, with Gohan having to shout, "No, Dad, you have to stand back up and fight! We can't let Moro win like this!" Yes, Saiyan, do you hear that? You weren't supposed to let me win. And yet here you are allowing for me to win after thinking that you had what it took to destroy me when you didn't and failed. However, if there is one thing that I'm very curious about, it's that Ultra Instinct of yours that you used against me, Moro continues. I wonder what a power like that would feel like if I was able to wield it. It would certainly come in handy in case I need to use it against creatures such as yourself, but I doubt that it would ever even come to that given my raw power as it is. But I promise to take everything from you before I turn this world into my greatest meal, and it'll all be thanks to you, Son Goku. You and your friends are the ones who are mainly responsible for this, and so this time you will not be so lucky to escape me like you did on Namek. You and all of your friends, along with the people of this world, will be annihilated from history. But then, it was only from out of nowhere now, shockingly enough, with Gohan being the only one left able to stand and having to oppose Moro, where Gohan then went on to shout, "You leave my dad alone, you monster! If you're looking for an opponent worthy enough to fight you, then put him down and come fight me instead. I'm the only one who is still capable of fighting you, so now let him go and come fight me." You? And just what do you think you'll be able to accomplish against me with a laughable power like that? What difference could you hope to make against me, boy? You were barely even good enough to be my warm-up, and yet you somehow find yourself standing there with the audacity to try and challenge me? And just what do you think you plan on doing that will possibly stop me, boy? You are all out of options at this moment, with Gohan responding, "Listen to me, it doesn't have to be like this, and if you want someone to fight against, then the only one left standing out here is me. And so leave my dad out of this. You have already done enough and he is in no possible condition to fight you. So let him go and come and take your anger out on me, Moro," with Moro responding, "Well, actually, on second thought, I have a better plan in mind since I already have your father right where I want him to be. And this so-called Ultra Instinct power of his that he was shown wielding against me, and I wonder as to what it feels like, because with a power like that at my fingertips, there would be nothing and no one who would be standing in my way," with Gohan shouting, "Wait, hold on, just what do you mean? What are you planning on doing here, Moro? I told you that my father is in no condition to fight you, and so what are you trying to get at here? Just leave him out of this and come and fight me instead. Listen to me," with Moro responding, "I'm done listening to you creatures on this planet, which is why I have decided on just the thing that I want to go and do with your father before he dies, boy. So why end his life now when I can go and take everything away from him, beginning with that power of his? I will become the ultimate weapon of chaos," Moro continues, "and so worry not, dying Saiyan, for this will only take but a moment." Which, as Moro was from there shown having to grab onto the back of Goku's neck, was when Moro then went on to continue, "And once I am able to fully acquire this power for myself will be the very moment where all of your efforts will be brought to a standstill, son Goku. And very soon I will have what I've been searching for as I start with you, Saiyan. So thank you for all that you have allowed for me to achieve since meeting you on planet Namek, son Goku." To which seconds later, with Moro shown having to drop Goku as his body was beginning to quake and now feeling the power of Ultra Instinct, was when Moro then went on to continue, "Incredible, what an overwhelming and amazing power. I had never felt anything like this before in my entire life. This sensation is almost too much for my body to bear. I can feel myself beginning to slowly change. Yes, I can feel this power now coursing through my very body," as Beerus went on to then chime in, "This entire situation with Moro has me very intrigued now, Whis. He's copying Goku's Ultra Instinct, but does that mean that he'll be able to fully wield it? And if so, then how strong will he become?" Beerus questions. "Tell me, can Moro truly master such a complex and profound technique in time, Whis?" with Whis responding, "Well, even though Moro's replication of Goku's Ultra Instinct amplifies the danger which Moro has now become, this could, however, also pose a risk to him since Ultra Instinct requires a harmony that his body might not be capable of sustaining. And if Moro is unable to maintain this balance, then it could lead to his own collapse if this goes on, but we will have to wait and see what happens." To which, as Piccolo was from there surprisingly enough shown having to address Gohan, was when Piccolo then went on to respond, "Gohan, you're the only one left who has the power to end this war that we have been waging against Moro. The true depths of your ultimate power is something that lies within you, Gohan. You have to fight. And if we don't destroy that monster right now, then he will rip everything away from us that we have spent years having to protect." "Piccolo," Gohan utters, "but how can I be so sure that I even have this dormant power within me that will make any sort of difference?" with Piccolo responding, "You've always had the power to create change, Gohan. Just think about what Moro is going to do after he is done with us. Think about what he's going to do to your family, Gohan. Your wife and your daughter, your mother and your friends. They will all be destroyed, Gohan. You always had the potential to create great change, Gohan. And so awaken your hidden power and stop him while there's still a way for him to be stopped, Gohan. Don't let this be how our story ends. Don't let that monster have his way with your family or anyone else on this planet. You're our last hope in this battle, Gohan, for we need you." In which, in the meantime, with Moro's evolution now complete and finally bearing the power of Ultra Instinct, was when Beerus Beerus then went on to respond, "Do you feel that, Whis? Moro's power is beyond words at this point, going far above anything that he ever was before on top of it." Oh, damn those idiots down there. They should have destroyed Moro when they had the chance, damn it. With Whis responding, "Well, as alarming as it is, and yes, Moro's power is in fact very impressive given what he had just copied, but let's just wait and see on how he's able to use it before we go and plan our next move, my lord. So this is what the power of wielding this so-called Ultra Instinct feels like," Moro went on to then address. "Now I understand on why you relied on this form of power so much, Son Goku. And with a power like this at my fingertips," Moro continues, "I will go on to conquer everything. So thank you for all you've done, which had led me to this very moment in time, Goku. But either way, this is where you and I finally part ways for good. But don't worry, for I will always keep you alive within my memories, Saiyan. For you've given me all that I need, and so what would be the point of keeping you around when I already have everything that I can possibly ask for from you, Goku?" This ends here, with Gohan now being shown having to have a flashback based on Piccolo's words by then saying to himself, "Piccolo is right, and if Moro is allowed to have his way with Dad and Vegeta, then we're next. And with everyone gone, that would mean that he'd go and have a feast by consuming this entire planet, along with everyone on it. Everyone that includes Pan and Videl, my mother and my brother. I still have to try. There's got to be some kind of way for me to find the power deep within me that I can use to destroy this monster once and for all. But where? I can't let him continue to do this. I have to try and find a way," Gohan continues. I can feel my power changing. I can't continue to watch this anymore." But then, with his emotions exploding and with Gohan now finding the power deep within him and harnessing that onto the surface and transforming for the first time, as this had now become the very first time that Gohan was indeed actually able to draw forth his beast form onto the surface, as Piccolo went on to then respond, "That's the way, Gohan. This is what I knew that you had sleeping within you. I knew that you could do it, so now show that monster what true power is really like." "What the, and what's this?" Moro went on to question. "Where is all of this sudden burst of power coming from? Wait a minute. The boy. But where was the boy able to gain such power like this from? Did I miss something? I surely couldn't have overlooked his power because this wasn't something that I felt when engaging him on the battlefield. And so what is this?" Moro went on to question. "Well, no matter then, because at least if he proves himself to be worthy of challenging my status, then he will serve as the perfect warm-up for me to go and test my Ultra Instinct against." But then, it was just suddenly now from out of nowhere, as soon as Beast Gohan had proceeded in punching Moro in the face, was when Gohan then went on to shout, "You and I have some unfinished business to attend to, Moro, cause we're not done. It's funny that you assume that this was already over the moment you went and stole my father's powers. But the truth of the matter is, Moro, that this fight is far from finished," with Moro responding, "Oh, why, you little bug. How did you manage to hit me without me being able to see you move? What is this?" "Despite what this power of mine is," Gohan went on to respond, "I'll make sure that you pay dearly for hurting my loved ones, Moro. So do yourself a favor while you still can and gather yourself together before I destroy you," with Moro having to utter, What did you just say? How dare you? And since when do you get off by speaking to me with such disrespect, boy? None of this makes any sense," Moro went on to then continue. "How could this Saiyan, a mere boy whose power it was that I had bested, had been able to somehow acquire a level of strength from out of nowhere and best mine? I refuse to believe that to be true, as I will not be humiliated like this, especially not after having to reach the absolute height of my potential. He must die, you disgusting little worm. You may have been granted a rare and sudden burst of manageable power, but it still won't be enough to be what destroys me. For it will be I who will go on and destroy you just as fate had intended. In which within that very moment, as soon as Moro was shown having to blast Gohan from behind, with Gohan being shown having to deflect this, was when Moro then went on to respond, "Now evaporate from this world forever." What the? You know, I'll never understand scum like you, Gohan responds, for we've watched you all come and go, some in droves, and have always wondered on why you go and continue to do what you do. Which nevertheless, I just want you to know, and mark my words when I say this, Moro, for this is going to be the last planet that you will ever go and try and destroy, Gohan continues. I've seen your kind before, and so I'm very well aware that you are simply too dangerous to keep around or even send back to prison, which is why there is only but one other option left for trash like you. And no matter what happens to me, I'll see to it that you never hurt anyone ever again, Moro, for you had went and dug your own grave. To which upon Gohan now being shown quickly dashing towards Moro and attacking him, with Moro now shown blocking, was when Beerus then went on to then question, "I can't seem to believe it, even though I am seeing it with my very own eyes, but we'll come back to Goku's son a little later on, because it's Moro who intrigues me, Whis, for he appears to be moving around as though he has honed this Ultra Instinct for many years now, and so tell me, is this true? How stable is his body exactly?" With Whis responding, "Well, even as this does appear to be the case, as Moro will only continue to grow and adapt himself to the ways of mastering Ultra Instinct more and more, and I still don't truly think that he quite understands the significance of the power that he currently wields, but to that we'll have to wait and see." To which, as Moro was then shown having to attack Gohan over and over again, was when Moro then went on to shout, "You may rise over and over again, but just know this, boy. Understand that I am the one mountain that will forever loom ever so higher over you, Saiyan. For your defiance is an amusing one, but pointless, Gohan. It's pointless because it'll get you nowhere. Your determination is admirable, yet pitifully misplaced, just like your father's was, Gohan. For how could you ever hope to stand up against a being who transcends the very laws of nature? Because the answer is simple," Moro then went on to double axe handle Beast Gohan across the face, "and that is you won't, because you simply can't. And no matter what you creatures on this planet go and try and do in order to stop me, none of it will help your cause, as it will all fail. The Saiyan may in fact be in far greater trouble than he realizes," Beerus went on to then chime in. "But why is that if he was shown ascending in power, Whis?" With Whis responding, "Well, as strange as this may sound, Gohan in fact is not truly losing, my lord, because if you were to go and look closely, you can see that Gohan appears to be letting himself get hit solely due to the fact that I believe Gohan is trying to gauge Moro," which surprisingly enough did in fact look to be the case, because even despite with Ultra Instinct Moro being shown having to attempt to strike Gohan, with Gohan being shown getting out of harm's way, was when Beerus then went on to continue, "Interesting, yes, now I can see exactly as to what you mean, but why?" Beerus questions. "Why run the risk of potentially having Moro grow even stronger and not just wipe him out instead?" With Whis responding, "Well, from the looks of it, Gohan is trying to assess on how much of his power will truly be needed in order to ensure that Moro is destroyed, and destroyed without the chances of having him be able to survive. And as I have no doubt that once Gohan feels as though he is ready to make his final move against Moro," Whis continues, "will be the very moment where Moro's terror will come to an end." With Beast Gohan then shown sweeping Moro's feet on under by then responding, "And I want you to think long and hard about the consequences behind all of your actions before you are ready to pay for each and every single one of them, Moro, as I will make sure that you go and suffer for each and every single one of them." To which, as Gohan was then shown kicking Moro up in the sky, was when Beerus went on to then chime back in, "Well, the boy appears to be extremely determined, but I'm starting to now question on whether or not it would be wise for Gohan to continue fighting the prisoner like this, for of course obvious reasons, Whis." With Whis responding, "Although I understand Gohan's reasoning behind wanting to punish Moro first before putting an end to him, if Moro were to somehow get a hold of Gohan and copy his power like he did with Goku, then, well, this might require for our full and undivided attention, Lord Beerus, but let's just hope that it doesn't reach that point as this goes on." "Enough of these games, Saiyan! I don't care how strong this form of yours allows for you to be. I am still, in all aspects, the stronger life form between us, and it's not even close," Moro then went on to quickly shout. "That's enough," Beast Gohan went on to swoop on under and having to uppercut Moro in the jaw? Did you truly think that no one would rise up and put you in your place, Moro? Did you really think that we'd stand on by and watch you try and rip everything away from us while gloating about how powerful you are, Moro? Well, it looks like you're not so invincible after all. Gohan went back on the attack. So are you starting to see it now for yourself, you monster? How does it feel to be on the receiving end of that very terror that you went and inflicted on so many others? No, Gohan, don't let your overconfidence get in the way of your victory over him, Piccolo went on to address from below. You have to finish him now, with Moro then having to shout, why you? I'll make sure that you regret every word that came out of your mouth to me. And I'll start by tearing off that head of yours and bear it as my trophy. But even with despite Gohan being shown leaning on back and avoiding Moro's strike before kneeing him in the stomach was when Whis went on to chime back in. You see, my lord, and while Gohan still appears to hold the upper hand, he better take advantage now while he still can, because if there's one thing that makes Moro so dangerous, Whis adds, it's the cunning nature that Moro displays. Like hell if that will happen, Gohan went on to quickly shout. Scum will for always and forever remain scum no matter how many chances they are given, and this was your last one, Moro. So I hope that you have come to terms with what's about to happen to you, because I can promise you this, there will be no coming back from this one. So understand that I will not forgive you for the horrors that you've inflicted onto so many people, Moro. To which upon Beast Gohan then shown having to knock Moro back down onto the planet was when Beerus went on to then chime back in. Well, I'll admit and say that the Saiyan's new level of power has given him quite the edge in this fight, but will he go and finish it is the question, with Beast Gohan having to chime back in. Through our encounter with you, you've shown absolutely no remorse and no sign of redemption, for you are a being who is consumed by your own wicked and evil ways, Moro, and to spare you would mean to betray the very ideals of justice and peace that we spent so many decades in fighting for. And because of this, I'll make sure that no matter how powerful you are, that you don't survive what I'm about to use against you, for you have crossed a line which there is no coming back from. And I cannot, in good conscience, allow for you to have the chance to further your agenda after what I've seen you go and do here today. And so whether you try and escape or try to fight back, your fate is sealed, Gohan continues. And it starts here. One shot is all I'm going to need, so you can try and do your best to stop me, but it won't work, Moro. In which, despite the fact with Beast Gohan preparing and having to unleash the special beam cannon, was when Moro was also shown having to do the same and having to mimic Goku's Kamehameha from below, as Moro then went on to respond, you are far beyond the point of saving, Saiyan, especially with what I'm about to do, since you intend for me to carry out your death wish for you, Gohan. And thanks to your father, I couldn't think of a better way to destroy you than by blasting you with his most powerful attack, Saiyan. And this right here will be all that I will need in order to ensure that the ashes of your remains are scattered all across the universe, Gohan. So I want you to remember this face and remember my name, because it'll be the last thing that your eyes and ears will ever hear and see. Come on now, easy, Gohan went on to then say to himself. Concentrate and focus your heart and soul into this one single shot so that we may finally put this monster away once and for all. I only have one shot at fixing the mess that he made, and so I can't go and fumble it all now, Gohan continues. And I hope you know that whatever you think is about to happen is going to be far from something that you will be able to obtain, Moro. And so for your sake, I hope that you go and actually give me a fight that's worth putting my all in for. Then how about I go and make this all worth your while, Gohan? In which, as soon as Ultra Instinct Moro was from that point shown having to fire off a gigantic Kamehameha up towards the sky, was when Beerus then went on to chime back in. Oh, damn those mortals down there. Well, buckle up, Whis, because this sure doesn't look like it'll end well. This is it. The nightmare stops here, Moro. Special Beam Cannon! as the very second Beast Gohan Special Beam Cannon and Ultra Instinct Moro's Kamehameha were from their shown having to clash was when Whis went on to then chime in. Oh, and there we have it, for this should be what will decide on which one of them will live and which one of them will die.
Oh, you may be powerful in your own unique way,
Moro then went on to shout,
but you are nothing when compared to the strongest life form in the entire universe, Saiyan. And no matter how much you try, you and all of your friends will fail. Gohan, you'll need to put out even more power if you want to win.
An injured Goku went on to then shout towards Gohan.
You're stronger than he is, and I know that you can beat him, Gohan. You're the only one who can defeat him, but you'll need to use more of your full power, Gohan. This is your one and only chance. Release your full power now while you can. Remember the pain that Moro caused and all of the people that he's hurt and make that your power, Gohan. Now go and use your other arm to fire a special beam cannon.
Dad, yes, you're right. It's a long shot because no one has ever attempted to go as far as to try and use a double-handed special beam cannon, but
I have to try even if it destroys me. Now I'm not sure if this will work, but here goes, Dad.
Moro, no matter what happens to me, I will never allow for you to get away with all of the pain that you caused.
Now, special beam cannon!
As it was within that very moment with Ultra Instinct Moro's Kamehameha being shown having to be overtaken by Gohan's double-handed special beam cannon was when Beerus then went on to chime back in. A double special beam cannon? Typically I thought that the wielder of such a technique could only ever attempt such an attack with one hand. Very, very interesting, I must say. To which as soon as Gohan's double special beam cannon was then shown having to overtake Moro completely was when Moro then went on to shout,
But how? This can't be how it all ends! I am the strongest life form in the entire universe!
As this was now it, because with Gohan's special beam cannon being shown having to overtake Moro completely was when Whis went on to chime back in. Yes, I must say that it was, and a brilliant way to ensure that Moro is destroyed and destroyed for good too. Very good, a job well done indeed.
He did it,
Piccolo went on to then respond.
I knew that you had it within you to make a difference here and win, Gohan. I'm so proud of you, especially with how you were able to get the job done too.
That a boy, Gohan.
You did it,
Goku then went on to utter.
Moro's finally gone and gone for good.
Thank you, Gohan, with Beerus then responding, so it's about time that someone went and put that annoying prisoner in his place. It took those damn mortals long enough, to which as Gohan was then having to look down below and seeing Vegeta and Piccolo help Goku was when Vegeta then went on to respond, you're lucky to still be breathing, Kakarot, so we better go and find Dendera Whis so that way we can go and heal you before you croak on us, you idiots.
Hey, wait a second, Dad? Wait, no,
Vegeta and Piccolo are both with him.
Hey, are you guys okay down there?
Yeah, you're probably right, Vegeta. And yeah, I think that we'll all just be fine down here, Gohan.
You were amazing out there, but
that hair, how wacky. I've never seen a form like, well, whatever that is before, so what the heck is that? An injured Goku went on to question. Is that like some kind of a Super Saiyan mutation? As Beerus then went on to question Whis. Now hold on just a moment, since when was Goku's son able to harness such a power like this, Whis? What is that? And since when was the Saiyan mortal able to wield such strength like this? With Whis responding, well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure, but if there's one thing that I will say, it's that whatever kind of power this is that Gohan is currently wielding is most certainly something that I think you ought to take interest in, Lord Beerus, for he just might end up indeed being the rival that you've been searching for this entire time. With Gohan being shown responding, well, I'm glad that everything will now be going back to normal, you guys, but I don't think I would have been able to do this without your support either. And so even though I'm not really sure on what this new form of mine is, I have no doubt about the fact that we may in fact actually end up needing this moving forward, just in case we happen to run into any more more enemies who are just like Moro or worse, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Ultra Instinct Moro vs Beast Gohan manga one-off chapter special then comes to a close. Now,
I think I'll go and take it from here, as I do have a few things to say to our wonderful audience before we leave. If you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even realizing, as not only does Unreal have additional episodes that are out on the page right now, but if you want to support all of the content that you see and gain even more access to tons of exclusives along the way, then we do encourage for you all to become a member of our Patreon community today. For we will go and link it all down in the description box below and pinned comment section underneath. Now I have to admit that facing Moro was unlike any challenge that I've encountered before, especially after he went and copied Dad's Ultra Instinct. The fight with Moro was a true test of my abilities, especially after seeing how strong he became after achieving Ultra Instinct. But whatever power it was that I just managed to unlock was without a doubt a power that I couldn't have been able to beat Moro without. So we hope that you all enjoyed. As before you leave, do make sure to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as subscribing to UnrealEntGaming's channel in case you are new around here. We thank you all for watching and hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone, as we'll see you all in the next one.
Hold it right there. Now, when did I say that we were finished? Because I didn't. For there is still so much more that's left for us to show you. So I'd stay right where you are if I were you. And now that you're here, we do hope that you all sit back and enjoy the following things that you're about to see, because we have all worked very hard in giving you the very best that we possibly can. So don't forget to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming before you go, and don't forget to give this video a like and comment down below. You still, of course, would like for me to train you, don't you? Well, if you do, then we hope you all sit back and enjoy.
楽しみは後に取っておきたかったのだがな。戦うのが楽しそうだな、三角。その姿、本当にサイヤ人か。つまらんな。あっけない幕切れだった。無駄な抵抗はもう終わりか。その変身はすぐに殺してやる。逃げられると思うなよ。本気になってやる。見かけ倒しじゃないだろうな。
いつでも来い。
まさか孫悟飯なのか。失望したぞ。これでは完全体の試しにもならん。なかなか楽しめたぞ。
ち、悪あがきか。あなたはお父さんじゃないですね。何者ですか。泣き虫だったあの頃の、何もできなかったあの頃とは違う。
私としたことがいささか大人げなかったかな。はったりでなければ歓迎しよう。
こんなはずじゃ。そんな程度じゃ話にならないな。もう誰にも好きにはさせない。
色が変わったか。パワーだけの変身でないことを願っているぞ。俺はもうじき自爆する。
貴様
強くなったな、ご飯。いい攻撃だ。修行は足りん。貴様には借りがあったな。まだその力を使いこなせていないようだな。今回は俺の勝ちだ。あの時の借りは返させてもらったぞ。サイヤ人はまだそんな力が眠っていたのか。ガラクタの貴様でもわかるだろう、このパワーが。
本当に大切なものを守るには強くなくちゃいけないんだ。お前じゃ僕を殺すことはできないぞ。手加減はできないぞ。この力なら
くそ、貴様の細胞は役に立っているぞ。
全て僕が守ってみせる。何をしようが無駄だ。ここは任せろ。父さん、僕が勝ったのか。
見せてやるとするか。真のパワー、地球ごと消えてなくなれ。
これ以上やっても無駄だ。今度は僕の番だ。さっさと諦めるんだな。僕の勝ちだ。 守る。信じられない強さでした。このくらいの抵抗はしてやる。たとえ一人でも。そうすればおめえは全世界のどんなやつにも負けねえんだぞ。これくらいで着をつける。最後に見せてくれ。俺たち二人で作ったやつ。この木はお父さんの。どうなってるんだ。強くなったなごはん。ほらなんだか嬉しいぞ。
比べ物にならんほど強くなった。甘いぞゴハン。
あの野郎、君のせいで僕の威厳が台無しだ。少しマジになっちゃおうかな。
勝ってしまいましたか。我々はこれは大変なことになりますよ。
なんて強さだ。また吸収されたらかっこ悪いからな。
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.